Okay, so let's dig into this. We're looking at a bunch of sources you sent over articles, some research notes, and they're all pointing towards this really interesting company, Metaplanet, and what seems like an increasingly aggressive Bitcoin strategy.
That's right. Yeah, the idea today is really to break down what Metaplanet's up to, especially with their latest moves, and sort of figure out what this signals about, institutional thinking on Bitcoin right now.
And the big thing, the immediate news, was another Bitcoin purchase, right? They just scooped up another 11,112 BTC.
Yeah, exactly. And that single buy, it pushed their total holdings in their corporate treasury up to a nice round 10,000 Bitcoin.
10,000. Wow.
Which, for context, that's a really substantial amount for any company, really.
It really is. And here's the kicker. This is pretty interesting. That 10,000 BTC stack, and it actually puts them ahead of some big names. They've now got more than Coinbase.
Oh, really? More than Coinbase holding?
Yeah, Coinbase holds around, 9,267 BTC. So Metaplanet with 10,000 is now the 7th largest public company holder of Bitcoin globally.
7th? Weren't they 8th just like 2 weeks ago?
Exactly. 8th just a couple of weeks back. It just shows you how fast they're moving, how quickly they're stacking.
And scale and speed, it's definitely noteworthy. And that recent buy, the 1,112 BTC, that cost them, 16.88 billion Japanese yen.
Which is about, $117 million US?
Roughly, yeah, around $117 million at the time. And if you average out their entire 10,000 BTC stash, their cost basis is sitting around 13.9 million yen, or like $96,400 per Bitcoin.
Okay, so about $96,000 a coin average. That tells you something about their conviction at these prices, doesn't it?
Absolutely. They're clearly quite bullish even at these levels.
So they're buying big, buying fast. But the question is, how? How are they funding these big back-to-back purchases? It can't just be talk change, right?
No, definitely not. And this is maybe the most interesting part, or the boldest part anyway. They've basically taken on quite a bit of debt.
Debt? Okay.
Yeah, around $210 million worth through what are effectively zero-interest bonds. But here's the key thing. These bonds were issued specifically to buy Bitcoin.
Wait, explicitly. They said, we're borrowing this money to buy Bitcoin.
That's right, the stated purpose.
Yeah.
Which, that's not your typical corporate finance move for managing Treasury assets. It shows just an incredible level of conviction, almost unique, really.
Wow. Okay. And they're not done at 10,000 BTC, are they? I saw they've set a new revised goal that's kind of eye-popping.
They have. The new target is, get this, 210,000.
210,000. Seriously, by when?
By the end of 2027.
Okay, hold on. So they have 10,000 now. They want 210,000 by the end of 2027. That means they need to buy another 200,000 Bitcoin in the next, 18 months or so?
Roughly, yeah. Just over a year and a half. The pace required is just incredibly ambitious. It goes way beyond, typical Treasury diversification or even what we've seen from other big corporate adopters.
Right. It's not just a hedge then. It's like a core strategic accumulation play.
Exactly. They see it as a core asset, and they're leveraging up significantly to build that position.
And how's the market taking this? Because it sounds pretty risky on the surface.
Well, the market seems to love it, actually. Their stock jumped over 22% in Tokyo the day they announced this latest buy.
22% in a day?
Yeah. And year to date, their stock is up over 417%.
Okay, 400% plus. That's a pretty strong signal from investors.
It really is. Which leads to the bigger question, right? Is Metaplanet just some kind of outlier, this one crazy company? Or are they maybe front-running a perhaps quieter but broader trend of institutions getting more comfortable, more interested in Bitcoin?
Yeah, because when you connect the dots, it does seem to fit a pattern. We just saw, over $1.3 billion flow into the U.S. Bitcoin ETFs in a single week?
Mm-hmm. Even with all the price swings lately, that demand signal is still there. It's strong.
Right. The institutional taps seem to still be flowing.
And you hear comments from other big players too. Michael Saylor keeps saying MicroStrategy is still buying. The Bitwise CEO, Hunter Horsley, talking about Bitcoin potentially rivaling the size of the whole treasuries market. It all points to this sustained institutional appetite. It doesn't seem easily spooked by volatility.
Okay, so wrapping this up, Metaplanet is taking a really aggressive stance. They're using debt, setting huge targets, buying fast, and the market, for now at least, is rewarding them.
Yeah. And what's really fascinating, and the thing for you listening to maybe chew on, is what if this isn't just Metaplanet? What if more companies start using debt, like these low or zero interest bonds, specifically to pile into Bitcoin?
Right.
What could that do? Think about the potential shift in corporate balance sheets globally, and what kind of sustained, maybe leveraged buying pressure could that put on the Bitcoin market itself in the coming years? That's definitely something to keep an eye on.